Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel Tech with KG. Over the next couple of days, I'll be showcasing the QN90A. In this video today, you'll be seeing the first-hand impressions of the QN90A, what I think of it out of the box with day one firmware settings, and kind of just judging it off of that. I'll be comparing it to the Q90T a little bit, but I'll have a whole nother video on that separately, so stay tuned. Let's talk about what you guys want to see in the next video as well, so please leave a comment telling me what you want showcased for the next QN90A video. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you enjoy this video. I want to be very clear that this is a unit I purchased myself, and I've been on media blackout for weeks, which means I haven't heard or watched any reviews on this Samsung QN90A. I'll be basing all of my thoughts and opinions off of owning a Samsung Q90T, and I'm going to judge it off of that. Okay, now I won't waste too much time showing you the entire unboxing process. Just understand that it's pretty easy, as you can see. Alright, when you first start the TV up, you have the option of setting up the TV with an app or manually. I made sure to connect to the internet later so that I didn't get the update right away. I really wanted to test the TV right out of the box, just so I can get an impression of what the out of the box experience was. That way I could get a patch if anything changed. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, you'll know I'm serious about my firmware updates. And we all know Samsung doesn't really give you an idea of what changed, so it's kind of like you gotta guess yourself. One of the first things you want to do is get into settings, and under general, you want to look for power and energy savings. Go ahead and disable that, or else you'll probably be wondering why my super bright TV is all of a sudden so dark. Next, you want to take a look at picture clarity settings. You're going to probably want to turn off motion if you're not a fan of this setting. However, I do understand a lot of people do like the motion settings, so just tweak it to your liking. From there, you want to decide on your picture mode to use. A lot of people prefer dynamic mode because it's so bright and so vivid. However, do understand that it does oversaturate colors and will give you a really unrealistic look to a lot of things. Now, by default, standard will be the setting out of the box, and it's a good balanced picture, and it looks great with a few tweaks. If you want an in-between of the two that I just mentioned, you're probably going to want to go with natural, as it is said to reduce eye strain according to Samsung. To me, it felt like a combination of the two. I think you got a lot of the saturated colors from dynamic, but it's not oversaturated. If you're really serious about color accuracy and realism, use movie or filmmaker mode. This is the one you're going to want to use if you're a movie enthusiast or somebody that watches a lot of TV and just wants that realistic look. Look, there's no wrong choice in choosing your picture preference because at the end of the day, it is your preference. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to have the most accurate colors to have a good experience. If you need more tips on how to set it up, just go ahead and ask in the comments below. So let's move on to some of the tests. Getting into my first application, I went for a nice 4K demo involving nature and animals. For this, I stayed in standard mode. It's the picture quality mode that you get out of the box, and to be honest with you, it was very stunning. I expected it would be with this type of video demo, but it really did blow me away with some of the details. Really, my first impression with this is that, man, it is a very bright TV, super vivid. The greens and reds really popped, and I thought that it looked very natural, yet it did still pop. I don't know how to really explain it. It's a good picture. The next demo that I tested was an LG black level test. This demo really was impressive at first, but later on certain scenes seemed to kind of confuse the TV a little bit. I was getting a light from the edges of the screen, and I noticed some blooming occurred as well in this demo. However, when the local dimming was doing its job properly, it was very impressive. It's the closest thing I've seen to OLED black levels, and that's no joke. You know, I suspect the local dimming algorithm has some issues that really needs to be ironed out in a firmware update. And if they can do that, this will be a very impressive TV. Next, I really wanted to try out movie mode. So I threw on a scene from Tenet and I was really impressed with the performance. I didn't notice any blooming or leaking on the bars or anything that was off with the dimming performance. Overall, it was great. The shadow detail was very good and the highlight detail was amazing. It looked very good and I did not see any signs of black crush, so that is a very good thing. After running a couple of tests, I really think that the only thing that is tripping up the local dimming algorithm consistently seems to be a very, very dark image, maybe even a pitch black image with a bright object on it. Now, this is typically where we can see blooming happening, but it's not always the case on the QN90A. There's a lot of fantastic images that fit that scenario where you see a perfect amount of dimming and no sign of blooming whatsoever. It's just a few instances where it does really look bad when it comes to the blooming. So I do think that the TV is good, but I think there is definitely a problem with the local dimming algorithm. It's the only thing I can think about because when you look at the TV in a real world performance, watching a movie, watching TVs, the local dimming algorithm seems to be performing very good. It's just when you put it through these troublesome tests, it really kind of does trip up sometimes. Getting into game mode, I want to tell you that game mode is better than the Q90T. I did a side by side comparison, and I'll have a lot more videos on this detailing gaming, but let me just tell you that side by side, there was way, way better contrast on the QN90A. It just seemed brighter in game mode, and the colors just popped more. I mean, even my nephew noticed that. He pointed out that the greens looked greener and the contrast just was better all around. And even the shadow details on a lot of games just looked better on the QN90A. And I don't know if they changed the way their game mode processing works, but it definitely does seem like it's a better picture quality in game mode than it was on the Q90T. Didn't seem to be any issues at 120 hertz or 60 hertz. The only thing that kind of raised concerns was the picture quality changed a little bit when going into VRR mode, but I realized then that when you go into VRR mode, it does put you in a different picture mode, so you have to change your settings or else it'll be off. The settings in VRR is going to be completely different than your settings outside of VRR. So keep that in mind. Before I go, I definitely wanted to mention the local dimming blooming test. I did run it. As you can see on the screen, this is what it looked like. And I also ran a dirty screen effect test. I wanted to test the screen uniformity. I did find some screen uniformity issues. I'm sure there would be times where you might notice it. Keep in mind, I've only had this TV for a day and I probably spent maybe a total of 3 hours with it. During those tests, I only noticed the DSE and it was interesting to say the least. I don't want to say it was like the worst DSE I've ever seen, but it was weird. It had like a cross, a shadow cross. Hopefully it comes out in the video so you guys know what I'm talking about. I know that just sounds like something out of Dark Souls or something, but yeah, it was kind of surprised me, to be honest with you, because I was told that the Neo QLEDs were going to have less DSE because of the mini LED. Now, like I said, I didn't watch any other reviews. I didn't listen to anybody else. I don't know what's going on with DSE. If anybody else is experiencing it, you could let me know in the comments. But I definitely had DSE, and I can't say that it really impacted my everyday viewing situation with the TV. Like, if I was to buy this TV, and not run any tests, chances are I probably wouldn't even noticed it. But once you see it, you see it. So if you buy this TV and you actually like the way the picture quality looks on normal viewing and you don't notice anything that bothers you, I wouldn't go looking for it. Now, I understand if you want to be cautious and you're kind of on the fence about keeping the TV, then maybe you can run that test and see if you have DSE. Then you can take it back before your return period. However, if you're past your return period, please do not go looking for DSE. You'll drive yourself nuts. And once you see it, you won't unsee it. There's a term that gets thrown around in this TV community. If you go looking for a problem, you're probably going to find it. So yeah, stay tuned for the QN90A coverage. We're going to do more side-by-sides. Like what you see in this video that's just a preview. I have a ton of clips with the QN90A versus the Q90T, and that's what the title of the video will be when I put it up. I just wanted to get more clips though. I'm not really happy with it. I'm not putting it together the way I like yet. So definitely let me know in the comments what you want to see in that video. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, if you have any ideas, what you want me to test, just tell me. Just tell me below and I'll make a video on it. Thank you guys again so much. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.